Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table we're going to be talking about the Lily drone and selfie drones in general. I've got some concerns and some comments, and so I'd like to share those with you. Before we go any further though, it's my kitchen table, we must have a beverage. I'm on the coffee again because I need all the energy I can get right now. This is some home roasted Guatemalan from Huehuetenango, and is drinking very nicely in the on the kitchen table with Simon Newton mug, which was sent to me very kindly a while back by the guys at uavision.co.uk. So that's very nice, so thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Yes, the Lily drone. If you have visited a website or looked at a YouTube video or have gone anywhere with contextual advertising and you are into your drones and stuff, you probably have been served many ads for the Lily drone by now. I know I certainly have, and judging by the number of emails and sort of comments and PMs and things I've received, a lot of you are quite interested in it, some of the concepts behind it. So I've kind of had a look at their specs and their technical bits, and again, I'm not going to waste your time by telling you what it does and how it works. Their own website is brilliant at that. There's just a few points that I've distilled out of it that I want to discuss really and see what your thoughts are. So as you know, lots of people with these big bad boys, the Visions and other drones that have cameras on, have used them to, we've all done it, come on, confess, you've all done it. We've popped it up and we've pointed the camera at ourselves and we've given it a wave, and that's all cool. But generally speaking, I think you'd agree that spending this kind of money is probably on the high side for something that does that. However, there does seem to be a trend at the moment for smaller portable drones that will basically follow you around and do just that. There are several on Kickstarter at the moment. But Lily is the first one that I think has really sort of pushed hard on the PR, and I kind of looked into them and wondered why this was, and it's because they're not going through a crowdfunding route. They've got some seed capital, and they've certainly put that into the marketing. And what they're doing is they're currently offering it until the middle of June. If you pre-order it now for a, I think, January, February 2016 delivery, if you pre-order it now, it's effectively going to be half the retail price they say it's going to be. So get it for $500 if you order it now instead of $1,000 just under in February. Now, it's not a market that I get, really. Maybe that's because I'm not an action sports kind of guy. But certainly all of the promotional shots shows your Lily drone following you as you do crazy moves down the snow ski slopes, or get some wicked air as you take off with your all-terrain bike across a chasm, or go whitewater rafting, or all of that kind of stuff. If you are into all that, I can kind of get it that you would want that. And certainly they appear to be sort of wanting to impress upon people how cool the technology they've got is, where the drone follows a device that you wear. You strap it to your wrist or you strap it to your backpack or whatever, and the drone will lock onto that, and using its camera and that device will keep you in shot all the time. Now it's really cute as well. They've spent some time on the look of it and the feel. It's got that little robot smiley face on it. Everyone goes, oh, it's so sweet, and all that kind of jazz. No landing legs on it. You toss it up into the air and it auto starts and all that kind of stuff. It's very cool. I get it. But there are some things that concern me about it. And why I think it's, I think the technology is going to make its way into other drones, but why I think maybe, well, certainly at $1,000 and perhaps even at $500, is it good value for money? The first thing is flexibility. The thing that I thought was very cool about it is it's waterproof. It's waterproof down to 1 meter. It's not a submarine though, as they say. Please don't spin the props underneath, but if you land in water or you want to chuck it in some water because you're doing a water sport or whatever like that, it's fine. It will float on the water, it will take off again. To get it waterproof though, they have made it completely sealed, including the battery. So I think that's important to realise, because I didn't until I dug into it. It is a completely sealed unit, which means that when the battery starts to lose performance, you're stuffed. It also means that when you've gone out and had your 20-minute flight, you need to go back somewhere with a power point and charge it for 2 hours before you can have another 20-minute flight. Now that's all well and good if you're just, I don't know, filming yourself jogging around the local park, but if you're out in the wilderness, that's a bit of a problem. So that caused me some concern. But also just the general nature of, I think they use lithium ion. We all know from our laptops with lithium ion batteries, they have the same, suffer from the same principle as LiPo batteries and most of the other rechargeable batteries. They don't hold their charge at full. After a period of time, they do degrade. So that is an issue for me. The other thing is that the flexibility of it, it really can't be used for anything else. It's been limited to 50 feet above you and 100 feet in any direction away from you. That's it. So you can't suddenly say, oh, I want to use it in a different way or get more creative with it. It really is, it seems to me, something that will just follow you like it's on an invisible leash, and that's all it will do. The other concern that comes with that is that there's no separate control mechanism. It's got a button that you can press on the wrist unit that will make it stop where it is and hover. But other than that, if you're zooming along, not looking, and it's behind you, how do you know it's not going to crash into another drone or an aircraft or something? Okay, at 50 feet it would have to be quite low, but you know, you've got to think about these things. Perhaps more prosaically, it's got no collision avoidance built in. So if you go cycling down this cool canyon with some trees, if they are more than 50 feet tall, you need to be a bit careful, because this thing won't avoid the trees, it will smack into them. So all that kind of thing leads me to think that, you know, the concept is very cool and the marketing is very cool, but those things in particular lead me to think that you'd probably be better off spending not that much more, or in fact at the moment slightly less than their full ticket price in January, on a Vision Plus, a P2, and having something that, you know, is not quite so simple to set up as a follow me, but you can do it if you use some of the third-party apps, the DJI Ultimate Flight and other apps, that you can have a simple follow me mode already. And there are other sort of more robust kind of drones coming up on Kickstarter that actually are designed to be a bit more controllable, with a bit more programmability, that I think are probably a better bet. So in answer to all the comments I've had, what do I think about Lily? I think marketing wise, top drawer, but I think as a product, I would think long and hard before giving them $500 now and hoping that it delivers what is at the moment just all we've seen on the videos in January or February of next year, given those restrictions. My special concern is that you can't replace the battery. To get that waterproofing, they've sealed it tight and it's not user replaceable. So you've got 20 minutes, wherever you want to take it, you've got 20 minutes before you need to recharge it. I don't know, I don't see that. And the other issue about it is the camera. If you don't like the camera, it's a good camera. It's got the Hero 4 chipset in it, apparently. So it should be good, but if you want to tweak it or change it, and it's also got a bit of fisheye in it. So that was just some thoughts that I had. The other thing that I have a concern about is legality. In the UK, certainly, for example, I'm not sure whether the selfie drone, the autonomous selfie drone, is actually legal in terms of the air navigation order. I've put a request into the CAA to ask them that very question. When I get an answer, I'll do another update video, because I think there is a question mark. The Lily might be okay because it's tethered. It's 50 feet high, 100 feet. That may well, they would probably, I would imagine they would say, well, that would be fine. But they might have concerns over the lack of collision avoidance in it, because although, you know, the air navigation order is also about keeping aircraft safe, it's also about keeping people and property safe. So if you can kind of smack it into something that you shouldn't, then that might be an issue. But as soon as I find out, I will let you know. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Lily. As you can tell, I probably won't be buying one. If Lily wants to send one in for me to have a review, I'll be more than happy to do that. But I don't know, it's just a very narrow use case, I think. And I think the lack of flexibility doesn't make it a palatable option for me. But there we go. Many thanks indeed for watching, and I will see you again soon back on the kitchen table. Until then, cheers.